Welcome back to Bullet Catcher Gaming. TU 2.0.0 is live. The immersive mode, the ghost experience is here. And what I thought I would do is take you through the menus quickly. It's not going to be a long video, just to kind of see exactly what you can and can't change in the game and in the menus after the update. When you boot the game up, it will give you two options, whether you want to stick to the original mode or whether you want to do the new ghost experience. Now, I've already gone past that, obviously. So what I'm going to do is just quickly go into the main menus. And then what we'll do is we'll go along here to the options. Your options screen will now look like this. So you've got the ghost experience parameters and then underneath the normal settings. Now there are new weapons as well in Maria's shop. Worth going to check them out. I've bought all of those. They're quite nice. So when you click on it, this is now what you get. Now this is the custom mode that's telling you what you can and can't have in the ghost experience parameters. So I've just kind of messed around. And as you can see, when you hover over something, it will tell you exactly what those things are. So if, for example, if you were to go to difficulty tactical, as you can see here, it will say main weapon slots 2, bandage quantity unlimited, risk of injury none, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. It's going to tell you everything that you've got set currently. Now, obviously, most of this is pretty straightforward. So at the top, gear level on, off. Now you can click on more info and that basically breaks down the benefits of having one or the other. So underneath that, difficulty enemies. Obviously, for example, here, this is the same as it was before, the 4 settings. So if you want to play it on extreme, whack it on extreme and there you go. So underneath this, obviously the tactical menu, and when you click on these, it will then tell you every single thing that you will get regards to the differences between the 4 settings. So the interface, this is just a quick one. You can really kind of do this. You can go in and customize both of these two options, as you can see here. But you can just pick one of these. So for example, if you pick full, loot markers will be on, NPC markers will be on, minimap will be on, and then as you change along, as you can see, loot markers will be light. If you went to light, then the minimap's now changed to light, and if you go to minimal, everything's turned off. Now, social and bivouacs, you can have original, as you can see, so the HUD is public, the shop at the bivouac is all, garage at the bivouac is all, or you can have restricted where it's Erewhon only and the social hub is group only. You can also customize that. We'll go into that in a second. Exploration mode, so once again, as it was before the update, you can have guided or non-guided, depending if you want help going through the missions or not, if you want map markers and things like that. So if you go up to this one, which is the difficulty tactical, and you click on the custom, it then starts breaking it down. So we're under tactical and bivouac, so it gives you the choice here. So you can have obviously custom. So once the gear score has been turned off, you now only have access to 2 weapons and a sidearm. So if you have got weapons that you have got from a raid, for example, that have got a specific score, say a 260 score, and you do not have the blueprint for those weapons, and you want to now go and equip a blueprinted weapon on here, you can lose those weapons. So just be careful when you're swapping over. So you obviously have got the 2 weapon slot here. You can go into any bivouac and choose the weapons that you've got. I'll show you that in a second. You can now go to bandage quality, quantity, not quality. So as you can see, many, several, few, unlimited. You've got risk of injury, so you can have none, rare, often, always. Stamina consumption, exactly the kind of same, extreme, regular, reduced. You can have basically whatever you want. So if you get sick of your character running along and running out of breath, you can put it on none. And I've done that for the purpose of this video. Health regen is original, but obviously you've got original, partial, none. Ammo loss on reload, I've got that turned off. I will turn it on when I'm doing more no HUD kind of stuff to make it more realistic. But whilst at the moment when I'm running through these current missions, I'm not going to do that. So obviously if you start to reload and you've only got X number of rounds left in the mag, you will lose those rounds if you change magazine. So social and bivouacs, obviously you've got custom. You can now swap these to shop at the bivouac. You can either pick it to bivouacs or whether it's at the shop, social hub, group only, or you can have, as it was before, you can have public so other people show up. So yeah, that is that one really. So if you come down to interface and you go on to custom, once again, so you've got subtitles, obviously dynamic, speaker name, all this kind of stuff regards to subtitles. It's not particularly, hints whether you want to show them or not show them. Whether you want the hint size, you can change all this so it shows up much bigger or much smaller than it was before. It really does depend on what you want. So, I mean, obviously you can go in it the other way. I'm just showing you. So it's on here. So social and bivouacs. So we've already been in that one. So apologies. Yeah. So there you go. So gear level, obviously, if you go into the more info, it will give you this. You can literally switch them on and off at the top by pressing, well, I'm on PlayStation 4, so it's left one, right one, but whatever it is you're playing on. And it will show you then the blueprints that you currently have in your loadout when you have the gear score turned off. When it's turned off, you can walk along and pick up any weapon from a downed enemy, and you can use that weapon a bit like it kind of was in Wildlands as such. Each weapon's got its own statistics, and you pick it up and you just use it as it was. The gear score is completely irrelevant. There are obviously other updates that have been added in, loads of things such as base jumping and all that. I'm not going to go into that right here. I might do a separate video for base jumping and things like that. So you can also then just go into the normal settings, which obviously is where I was a minute ago, and you can go through these interface, and now you've got on the camera, you can now have this. Now I've swapped mine over and I must admit I prefer it. You can have it, this is dynamic, so you can choose whether the camera is going to dynamically adapt to its distance depending on the situation, staying closer or further from the avatar. You can have close, which is just like it is in the picture there, or you can swap it to far. I've set it to far and I must admit I prefer it. I'll be leaving mine like that, but obviously however you want. You can obviously switch. They've got screen shake and parachuting, camera orientation still. Yeah. And obviously the customized control, all of this, most of this was still in the game previously. All the rest of the options in terms of video and sound, everything is still the same. Not sure why that is. I always have that on 80. Don't know why that's on 79, but just ignore me. So basically, if you then come out, so if I press that down, obviously I've got the mini map showing, as you can see. So basically, I'll show you. This is in the immersive mode. If I was to go along and kill somebody, if I can get into this base, because I haven't got any wire fence cutters. No, okay, forget that. I can't be bothered to get me cutters out. I'll tell you what we'll do, just quickly, we'll jump to a bivouac so I can show you. So we jump over to this. What you will do now, if you've got your immersive mode set to turn on, or you've got custom mode on, what you're going to have to do now is go to a bivouac to set up your weapon settings. So here we are at a bivouac. Let's deploy it. Let's skip that. Right, so now we're into the bivouac. You'll see that it's changed slightly. At the bottom here, you now have weapon change. And here we go. So now it shows you the class, obviously, once again, with the two new classes that have been added. They'll be showing at the top, the same as before. Here's one of the new weapons, the SC40K. But it now shows you the 2 current weapons, obviously no gear score showing. And obviously you can go into the gunsmith as normal, and you can then go in and do the upgrades as normal. But now, if you want to change one of these, you can't. You literally have to have the blueprint for the gun, or you've got to pick the gun up from somebody who is obviously dead on the ground. So, for example, if I pick this, I want to go and pick one of these. There's no score anymore. It's just the weapons that I've got. So you can then just go through, choose the 2 that you want, and stick with them. And obviously be careful, because during the course of the action, when everything's all getting hot and heavy, when it's kicking off, you can accidentally pick up guns, a bit like in Wildlands, when you didn't mean to, and you will then end up obviously having a completely different weapon. But anyway, that is kind of about it. It is literally just to show you kind of roughly what the menus are. You know, just mess around with them, go in. You can literally do kind of everything that you've wanted to do. This is what we've kind of wanted from the game from the beginning. Whether you want to set how many bandages you've got, if you're into no HUD stuff and you like a bit of milsim, this really is the update for you, because you can set the parameters exactly how you want. The one thing that I personally annoyed me when I did no HUD was that I used to at least like to know where the bivouacs were when I wanted to jump around the map. And now I can set it to no HUD completely, but also have it show bivouacs only. So that is really good. This is a fantastic update. This is the update that this game is, well, this should change this game, I think, entirely. And yeah, get on, play it. If you found something else interesting hidden away in the menus and I don't know about them, please put it in the comments, because I'd love to know. That'll be fantastic. Just share if you can. There you go. That is the kind of menus. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be covering this game in full, going through loads of different things. Take care. Stay safe out there with everything going on. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.